New Leica launch. Roy gets an exclusive first look at the Fortis 6 rifle scope out stalking Muntjac. Plus, Andy's got pear-infused deer and rabbits to contend with.
They're lovely pears.
We have news, we have hunting YouTube, and we have the European gun trade show IWA, maybe for the last time. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. It's misty morning, Muntjac and Row. Roy is on ground in Hampshire to help try and reduce the impact of the local deer population on young crops. He's also got a new Leica scope. So new, this is a pre-production prototype.
We're back down in Hampshire this morning. It's a glorious morning. It's about 6 degrees. And we've arrived down here. It's quite misty, but it's just starting to clear. So we're going to have a look around for any Muntjac that are getting about, and maybe a rodo or two.
The Fortis 6 has just been launched at IWA 2019. We've got our hands on it early.
We're out this morning testing one of the new Leica Fortis scopes, and that's a 2 to 12 scope. Because you've got a 50mm objective and you can go down to 2x zoom on it, you've got a fantastic field of view in the scope. So for woodland stalking and potentially a little bit of driven as well, it's a very, very good little scope. It's got quite a nice fine illuminated reticle on it as well, so we can dot it up. So when you're looking into the cover like this, when you've got a bit of a misty morning, you've got absolutely no problem in putting the crosshairs on the target. Hopefully, we're all set for quite a fun morning. Trying to get on the knees from here is really, really tricky. We could possibly go up that edge line and try and come in, but they're going to make us by the time we get the long way in it. So probably best to leave them undisturbed. We'll head back, take the long route round, and then come in from another angle, and maybe some of the fog's cleared further up on the estate and we might be able to see something else. The sun's burning the mist off now. That is glorious looking through there.
The number of slots in the area reinforces Roy's thinking that the row numbers are high here, so much so that they're herding up, which is not a typical sight in the UK.
When you get a larger population, obviously you're going to see more deer together. And if they're hitting a certain feeding area, so say you've got one field that's coming through providing particularly good feeding, then the row are going to congregate on that area. Obviously this time of year there's very little feeding in the woods. The bramble, the understory, has been eaten away, so they do tend to concentrate and feed on certain fields, and that's when obviously you do see them in the larger numbers together. Yeah. I can't get a shot on it yet. Can you see it, David? You can, yeah? You on it? You on it, yeah? David? David? Got it? Can you see it well enough or not? You happy or not? I can take a shot. No, lost him. Okay, I've just got to wait for him to put him. He's just behind the tree for me now. Okay, you're ready? Oh, it's a 2. There comes the doe. Where's the buck? You're on him.
Yeah.
No need to whisper now. So, no, that worked out absolutely perfectly there. I really didn't think we were going to get a chance on him. And the wind was absolutely horrendous for us. Our wind was trickling in there. But still, even though he was with a doe, he was just a little bit cautious, but he was staying right in the thicket. And the scope worked beautifully for that because, again, you've got such a wide field of view on this. You could see everything going on. And so I could see him and I could see her. I could have picked out the shot, but again, a little bit of miscommunication. You can't be that noisy when they're downwind and only about 30 yards away from you. But he just trickled back through, whistled him just in the gap and got the shot on him. So, yeah, no, that was brilliant fun. So we're using the same Seiko 70 grain BTs. We used these on the Muntjac when we were doing the driven shooting, and it's the same little rifle, the Tikka T3X, just a lovely little accurate rifle, and perfect for this. So it's a nice little short barrel. The Stalin moderator works really well. It's incredibly quiet, and just a lovely little setup, very light and perfect for woodland stalking. Hey, young man, aren't you a pretty little thing? Just stunning little things, aren't they? So he's obviously a yearling buck. He's not had his first head yet. So his pedicles are just forming up and they've not broken out to form anything as yet. So he's a nice little yearling. He'll eat incredibly well. So we'll crack on with the row, I think, and see if we can take 1 or 2 rows, and then we might sneak back in the woods a little bit later and see if we can pick up another one.
For more information about the Fortis 6, go to leicasportsoptics.com. Thank you, Roy, and thank you, Leica, who commissioned David to make that film and to make a lovely film to run on their stand at Ewa, as did other companies such as Aimpoint and Shooter King. In fact, he has been unbearably smug in the last few days, that David. And here he is, Mr. Smuggington from Smug on the World, Smugsville. David with the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. Scotland's gamekeepers got good headlines this week. A Scottish Government report investigating the economic and social contribution grouse moors make to Scotland's fragile rural areas found that it's responsible for 2,500 full-time jobs, with the state spending £212,000 on average a year in wages and more than £500,000 on suppliers. But all this didn't stop the Labour Party likening grouse shooting to organised crime. Shadow Environment Secretary Claudia Beamish told a Labour conference fringe meeting hosted by anti-shooting organisation Revive that grouse moors need robust licensing and robust monitoring. The BBC has made another promotional film for hunt saboteurs. The BBC's Inside Out West team joined a group of saboteurs determined to disrupt a hunt in Monmouthshire and ambushed a hunt enjoying a day's trail hunting. Meanwhile, viewer Jeff Smart wrote to the BBC to complain after BBC Breakfast News ran a story on the persecution of hen harriers, including 2 representatives from the RSPB, who claimed that gamekeepers were killing birds of prey, without asking for a response from the shooting organisations. A group of hunt saboteurs turned a fox into the path of hounds by their screaming and shouting, a court has heard. Christopher Amat, 58, and Archibald Clifton Brown, 19, deny hunting a fox in Great Thurlow, Suffolk in December 2017. They also deny assault charges. Ipswich Crown Court heard anti-hunt campaigners descended on the hunt near woods from where the fox emerged. The trial continues. A barrister with a passion for hunting has died after a fall. Tributes have been paid to Dominic Webber, former chairman of the East Sussex branch of the Countryside Alliance, a well-known and well-respected criminal barrister, who was out with the East Sussex and Romney Marsh when the accident happened. After months of lukewarm support, BASC has announced it's fully behind the British Game Alliance. Modelled on the National Farmers Union Red Tractor Scheme, the BGA will now get financing, access to BASC staff expertise and a BASC council member to sit on the BGA board. BASC and the BGA came together over recent footage of a shoot burying birds, condemning it even though the birds had been breasted. They are both committed to increasing the market for game and promoting high standards on shoots. The summer charity clay season is upon us. The National Gamekeepers Organisation has joined forces with the famous 6 Mile Bottom Shoot in Suffolk to offer teams an exceptional simulated game shooting experience and in the process raise important funds for the NGO. It's to be held on the 4th of May 2019. Visit nationalgamekeepers.org.uk. And finally, Berlin's wild boar problem is now so big, they're allowing bow hunting again in certain parts of the city. Bow hunting is banned in around half Europe's member states, including Germany, after groups of up to 30 boar terrorised Stansdorf, a village near Potsdam. The local council's been given exemption from the law banning bow hunting. A local hunter is assembling a team of 5 bow hunters for the experiment. Back in the UK, and it looks like boar have spread to Rutland. A Rutland and Stamford Mercury reader, Tom Stevenson, sent photos to the newspaper of a wild boar he saw near Rutland Water. You are now to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. Now, for those of you who don't know, IWA is the biggest gun trade show in Europe. It is packed with products, many of them amusing, like this furry moderator warmer. And there are some sensible ones, like this upgraded rifle from Browning, the X-Bolt SF Pro.
First of all, we kept the features that made this rifle one of the most accurate on the market, so the double bedding and the super follow trigger. But to improve your experience, what we have done is the barrel lapping. We do it by ourselves, so it means that we eliminate all the small imperfections you might have when you do the rifles inside the barrel. It improves the accuracy, especially with hunting bullets, but it also allows us to do not have so much copper dust in your barrel after taking many shots. When you get a new rifle, you need to shoot a few, dozen rounds in order to have a totally perfect straight barrel. In this case, we do it by ourselves, so it means there is a guy coming and correcting all the small imperfections.
Browning has been working on its Kite optics too. It has a red dot sight called the K1 that's designed so it doesn't get in the way of your scope.
Usually when you have a red dot, you put it there. Competitors think it's good enough. We don't think so. We prefer to put it there and we have the lowest position on the market. What's the purpose of this? You can see it immediately. We have 2 sights in the meantime. So when you arrive on the hunting ground, you can pick the one you need. If you say, okay, I will shoot from 50 meters up to 100, 150, you keep the scope, you just aim, you are ready to go. You cannot see the red dots inside the scope because of its low position. Then you say, no, I would prefer to use the red dot, no problem. Thanks to the Browning Nomad, you just remove it, put it in your pocket, or in your box, it's better, and start using your red dot.
IWA is also a place to catch up with hunting stories, and here is one from an old friend of mine, Philip von Salden, who has recovered from being beaten up by a wild boar.
I crossed one of the high seats and they warned me, and there was already a pack of dogs, and in front of me this Kyler already killed another dog. I thought I could hit the dogs, so I didn't shoot. In this moment the Kyler turned around, attacked me. Due to the fact that I already was aiming at him, I shot him on 5 meters. I saw dust coming out of left and right flank, and I thought mission accomplished. And a second later, I laid on the back, and my leg was flying up, and I was taking my stock and hitting the head of the Kyler, and after very long 10 seconds he went back, and I saw the mess everywhere, blood. I could stand, my glasses were away, the weapon was only half reloaded, and this was it.
Did you get him?
He died 20 minutes later, but he needed a 6th shot. Since then I wear Kevlar trousers I have proper medical kit, inclusive military tourniquets to stop bleeding, and I do a very strong briefing to all my beaters.
I'm glad to say Philip was back beating on his shoot within 8 weeks. You can launch products at IWA. We made films for Leica, Aimpoint and Shooter King to go alongside new product launches. You can also use IWA to explain your products, and that's Zeiss's mission this year with a series of panels.
You see the V8 and you see the benefits of the V8 we offer to the hunters. So we see the light transmission, we see the Ultra FL concept which is inside the V8, we see Lototech, T-Star coated glasses, the ASV, the benefits of the ASV in the V8 section, and we see the illumination control. Everything is here, and the same we have for the V4, for the V6 and HT classes, so the user can very easily see what's the benefit of each project. What we see is the whole portfolio of our scopes. And we see the headlines, which is driven hunt, it is stalking, and it's high seating and so on. And we see a recommendation of our products where it's best to use it.
And there's a link to that poster in the description below. As I said, IWA is packed with hunting and shooting kit from all over the world, and you'd think there'd be one thing on their minds. Well, there wasn't. The British are disinterested and the Continentals disappointed.
It will only complicate things in my eyes, so I think none of us will benefit from it.
It does matter because our friends in hunting in the UK are now more difficult to reach for us. We have more problems at the borders to get there, probably also with the transportation of weapons.
We don't know that.
Probably, that's why I said probably. But altogether, I think it's a very trist, a very, very sad moment to see that Brittany is losing its connection with us in Europe.
Are you speaking as a good European or as a good hunter?
Well, I'm speaking as a good European, and a good European should be a hunter as well, so both of it.
Well, I've seen another union. I've been born in Soviet Union, and that's a completely different union from what we have in like a European Union. It means that for me, as a person coming from Latvia, European Union has offered me possibilities that have never been opened me in any other way. So I'm very sorry for British to want to go out.
No, we're the ones who apologise. We always apologise, don't we? We're famous for apologising. We're not apologising now. Poor Europeans. Next up, back across the channel, Andy Crow is diversionarily feeding deer and trying to stop rabbits from feeding altogether. A perfect pair. What, these two? No, this lot. It's late January, and because he's had a herd of up to 80 fallow deer chewing on his young rape, he's had to employ some new tactics. Diversionary feeding. Cousin Gary will take one high seat and is hoping to keep his extremities warm with Andy's cushion.
Give us that bloody cushion, mate. I knew he was going to take that cushion. I know you need this cushion, Dave, because you've got piles real bad, and you're always complaining about them. Right. Now, as you see, as we come up, there's two over there. So Gary's going to go in the hot seat because he's my guest, and so again. So he's going back over there. We're going to go on another high seat at the top, and hopefully we bump into a couple.
We're further up the hill and will unload these pairs once it gets dark. Sadly, they were destined for the bin.
Well, there's nothing wrong with these. They're lovely pairs. There's nothing wrong with them at all. The only thing's a bit small. Instead of eating one, you eat two. Why they can't use them for canning and that, I don't know. We got the bulk bins down the yard. Oh, they're massive, some of those. They're lovely pairs. I've been eating them and they're gorgeous. People might watch this and say, oh, he's feeding them. He's encouraging them to come to his land. No, I'm not. I'm encouraging them to come to where I can shoot them. They're already here. They're here all the time. So you go and talk to next door. They've fed their pheasants this year they fed nearly 30 tonne of corn, and I bet at least they usually do between 15 and 18 tonne a year, and this year the deer are just absolutely hammering them next door. They've got maize cover crops, they smashed the hell out of that right away early on, but they just all the time, he's just going around filling his feeders. I've got to say that I've got to deliver some more corn to him tomorrow because he's out again, so whether they come daylight like where Gary is, there was 2 there. If we hadn't been waiting for you, David, we would have probably been there and Gary would have had those 2, but still late is better than not at all. Yeah, I'm only...
Come on, let's get nice.
Okay. Gotta get it started, David.
We hear a shot from Gary. Maybe it was one of the deer we'd seen earlier.
Yes, that means I've got some grollicking to do in a minute. Just hope something comes out here in a minute.
We have to wait until it's almost dark before 2 bucks appear. They need to get a move on.
Just sitting here and we've got 2 coming up along the hedge, making their way here. Just hope they get here before it's too dark, but they're getting a bit of a trot on. Well, not a trot on, they're making their way here steadily. They're eating the rape on their way here, so yeah, hopefully they get here. That's one of the reasons for putting the pairs there. I know they're going to come to here. It's just whether they get here in time. So, but if those pairs weren't here, they'd hop over the fence down there, go out in the field. You wouldn't get a shot at them. But at least I know there is deer coming here, and it's just whether it's potluck whether they come here before it gets dark. But yeah, these 2 they're coming. They've moved probably 50 yards. No, probably more than that. They've moved up here about 80 yards in about the last 5 minutes. So hopefully they get here. Are you on the right hand one? Right. I'll stop him in a minute. You on it?
He takes the bigger buck, but leaves the second.
It was nice.
If Gary has one, then a 3rd or potentially 4th would mean a late start on the rabbits.
Shall we wait and then they come?
Back at the yard, the deer are processed and we change the Blaser R8 for the 17HMR. Although many places don't have rabbits at the moment, the milder weather means his have been busy.
It's the same old story as last year, but there's just little pockets of them, little pockets about, and just want to get a few before they start breeding, really, because they've been mating like crazy because it's been so mild. But yeah, so I just thought you up here, we'd just pop out for an hour and see if we can pick a few up. On the grass here, they're not sitting very well. They're away straight away. There's not a lot to hold them. They're a bit jumpy. I know there's some other people shooting here, but on the wheat they're tending to hold a bit longer because it's a lot longer. They're sitting tight, which is quite nice. Gives me a bit of chance. It gives me a bit of time. But over on this grass, I'm having to rush them a little bit. We're going to go and do one more grass field up along the track. There's usually a few rabbits out there. See what there is out there, and then go back on the wheat for half an hour or so and see if we can pick up another half a dozen. Keep it on him, I'll have him running.
at the top of one of the grazing fields of woodcock. It shows you always need to be 100% sure you know what you're shooting at.
This field here in particular, you can see there's a lot of molehills here, so it must be a lot of worms. The amount of times, it's a bit dry at the minute, but the amount of times you come up here, and like Gary said, I was usually woodcock here, I've seen a dozen, 15 here.
Back at the yard, Andy uses the incinerator to dispose of the grub.
Straight in the furnace, that's useful.
Yeah, it is handy. All the foxes we shoot, all the deer guts, all the waste all goes in here. It all gets burnt, so just saves having it laying about. So.
Some of these rabbits are very covered and will be heading to his kitchen and not the game dealer.
All the fat around the kidneys. Yeah, they've had it so easy. I don't know where that one will end up.
It's been a productive evening's pest control job that's also delivered some wonderful wild meat for the table with a side order of pear. Thank you, Andy and Gary. And from the Garden of England to the rest of the world of hunting and shooting on YouTube, it is Hunting YouTube. This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the best hunting and shooting videos that YouTube has to offer. In Denmark, Morten Schultz has collected some of his best clips from the 2018 season in a film that includes the private life of roe deer and birds of prey attacking his crow decoys. Back in the UK, the South Somerset Ferreters channel is crow shooting over cover crops, capturing much with the excellent shot cam, which we use too. From shotguns to air guns, Corvid Hunter is out with his air rifle, various shots on various quarry in this film, to America, where Daybreak Outdoors offers snow goose hunting, a 200 bird day over water. It's a promo film for their guiding operation at the snowgooseexperience.com. Guns and Chicken Strips is out after boars in Texas with Thermal. It's a well-narrated film that includes a close encounter with a camel that they don't shoot. Big Game Hunting channel Hunt Geo is after a mountain stag in Maltertal, an unforgettable hunt in the heart of the Austrian Alps. Here's one that went under the radar from a couple of years ago because for some reason it is unlisted, a good film about deer stalking in Norfolk. And finally, a film from a couple of months ago is doing well. Life's Short, Get Ducks is part of Australia's campaign to allow duck hunting to continue in the face of pressure from anti-hunters. That's it for this week. I've put all these films into a playlist for you. Click on the eye symbol top right or check this film's description. If you have a YouTube film you would like us to pop into the weekly top 8, email me the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Well, that's it for this week. If you haven't done so, please pop over to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv. You can click to like us there on Facebook. You can like us there on Instagram as well. You can follow us on Twitter. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, and best of all, pop your email address into our register page and we'll contact you about this show, which comes out every Wednesday at 7 p.m. UK time, Fieldsports Britain. I'll see you next week. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.